For more than 3 decades, the guidance has been consistent. Walk daily, aim for 30 minutes, accumulate 10,000 steps, remain active, and protect your bones. Many women followed that advice closely. They walked every morning, tracked their steps, and relied on repeated assurances that this routine would preserve bone health. However, research published in 2023 in Osteoporosis International reported that walking alone does not provide sufficient bone loading stimulus for postmenopausal women at risk for osteoporosis. The issue is not partial effectiveness. The loading generated by walking does not reach the threshold required to stimulate meaningful bone formation in this population. For women over 65 who have walked consistently for years, the skeletal benefit may be minimal. This is not due to lack of effort. It reflects the biological demands of bone after menopause. 1 in 2 women over 50 will experience an osteoporotic fracture. Hip fractures are particularly consequential. 1 in 4 women who sustain a hip fracture enter a nursing home within 12 months. Without adequate mechanical stimulus to bone, that risk increases over time. The same body of research also shows that bone remains biologically responsive well into later decades of life. At 65, 70, or 75, the skeleton can still rebuild, provided it receives the appropriate mechanical signal. A casual walk does not generate that signal. Bone is living tissue engaged in continuous remodeling. Osteoclasts resorb old bone, while osteoblasts form new bone. Before menopause, this process is relatively balanced. After menopause, declining estrogen accelerates resorption and slows formation. Osteoblasts function as mechanical sensors. They respond to loading, compression, and strain. Researchers refer to the minimum force required to activate bone formation as the minimum effective strain. When mechanical loading remains below this threshold, osteoblast activity is limited and bone loss continues. Walking generates approximately 1.1 to 1.3 times body weight in ground reaction force. Although this appears substantial, it falls below the osteogenic threshold for many postmenopausal women. A 2022 study published in the Journal of Bone and Mineral Research examined sex-specific exercise responses in aging adults. Investigators found that after estrogen loss, osteoblast mechanosensitivity declines. Postmenopausal women require a stronger mechanical signal than men of similar age to achieve comparable bone-building responses. Current exercise guidelines have not consistently reflected this biological distinction. Protocols that are moderately effective for younger individuals or for men may not cross the osteogenic threshold for a postmenopausal skeleton. At the same time, public health messaging has emphasized step counts. Consumer fitness devices measure steps and reward accumulation. Calcium supplementation has also been widely promoted. Yet, step-based walking and supplementation alone do not consistently deliver the mechanical stimulus required for bone formation after menopause. The solution is not complex. It requires applying loading patterns that meet or exceed the osteogenic threshold in a safe and progressive manner. The following 5 weight-bearing movements are presented from foundational to highest stimulus. Each builds on the previous level. Progression should match current strength and balance capacity, beginning from a seated position if necessary. The final movement corresponds to the protocol evaluated in the 2023 Osteoporosis International study, which demonstrated a 4-fold greater bone density stimulus compared with walking alone in postmenopausal women. Number 5. Seated foot pumps and toe raises. Lower leg muscle function is fundamental to circulation, balance, and safe weight bearing. The calf muscles, the soleus and gastrocnemius, act as a secondary pump, assisting venous return with each contraction. With age, these muscles weaken, reducing circulation and diminishing peripheral proprioception, the body's awareness of foot position. Proprioceptive decline contributes to fall risk in older women and often begins at the level of the feet. A 2021 study in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity followed 180 women over 65 through a 12-week progressive lower leg protocol. Even during the seated phase, participants demonstrated a 28% improvement in standardized balance scores. To perform, sit in a firm chair with feet flat on the floor. Raise both heels, hold briefly, and lower slowly. Then lift the toes, hold, and lower. Add ankle circles in both directions. Perform 3 sets of 15 repetitions twice daily. This establishes the circulatory and proprioceptive base required for higher level loading. Number 4. Chair-supported standing marches. Single leg stance challenges hip stabilizers, including the gluteus medius and hip flexors. When standing on one leg, the femoral neck bears approximately 1.5 to 1.8 times body weight. This exceeds the bilateral loading produced during walking and begins to stimulate osteoblasts in the region most vulnerable to hip fracture. A 2020 study published in Archives of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation followed 312 women aged 60 to 75 for 6 months. Participants performing chair-supported single-leg exercises demonstrated a 41% reduction in fall risk compared with a walking-only control group. To perform, stand behind a sturdy chair with both hands on the backrest. Lift one knee toward hip height, hold briefly, and lower with control. Alternate sides. Complete 2 sets of 10 repetitions per leg. Progress gradually by reducing hand support as balance improves. Number 3. Low step-ups with handrail support. Step-ups generate 2.0 to 2.5 times body weight in ground reaction force during ascent. The controlled descent activates eccentric quadriceps contraction, producing tibial compressive strain along the length of the shin bone. This longitudinal loading is osteogenic and supports bone density from ankle to knee. A 2021 study evaluating stair-stepping protocols in women over 65 reported that participants performing structured step-up and step-down exercises 3 times weekly achieved 3.1% greater tibial bone density improvement at 6 months compared with walking-only controls. Use the lowest available step. With one hand on a railing or stable surface, step up, bring both feet together, and descend slowly over 3 seconds. Perform 2 sets of 8 repetitions per leg. Number 2. Controlled heel drops. Bone responds to brief, high-magnitude mechanical impulses. Controlled impact loading can exceed the stimulus produced by steady walking. When the heel contacts the ground with sufficient force, a mechanical wave travels through the calcaneus, tibia, femur, and into the pelvis and spine. Osteoblasts detect this strain through mechanotransduction and initiate bone formation. A 2019 study published in Bone followed 96 postmenopausal women performing controlled heel drops 3 times weekly for 6 months. The intervention group demonstrated a 6.2% increase in calcaneal bone density compared with 0.8% in the walking-only group. Stand behind a sturdy chair. Rise onto the toes, then allow the heels to drop with controlled impact. Begin with 2 sets of 10 repetitions and progress gradually. Number 1. Supported standing heel raise, full protocol. The supported standing heel raise combines concentric and eccentric loading across the full kinetic chain. At peak elevation, ground reaction force can reach approximately 4 times body weight. This load travels through the calcaneus, tibia, femur, pelvis, and lumbar spine. During the controlled descent, the soleus muscle undergoes eccentric loading, producing a secondary osteogenic signal. This concentric eccentric cycle amplifies mechanical stimulus to bone. The 2023 Osteoporosis International study evaluating this protocol reported bone density stimulus 4 times greater than walking alone in postmenopausal women at osteoporosis risk. A 2022 Journal of Bone and Mineral Research study on progressive calf loading also demonstrated measurable improvements in hip and lumbar spine bone mineral density after 16 weeks. Weeks 1 and 2. Both hands on a chair, rise over 3 seconds, hold briefly, lower over 3 seconds. 2 sets of 10 repetitions. Weeks 3 and 4. Reduce to one hand support and increase repetitions. Weeks 5 through 8. Progress toward single leg heel raises as tolerated. Beyond week 9, add light external load, such as a small backpack. Because postmenopausal osteoblasts require greater mechanical stimulus, exercises that exceed the activation threshold are necessary. Walking and low-impact activities do not consistently reach that threshold for bone density improvement. When performed consistently and progressed appropriately, these 5 movements align with the documented mechanisms of bone adaptation. Studies cited demonstrate measurable improvements in calcaneal and tibial bone density within 6 months, significant reductions in fall risk within 3 months, and improvements in balance metrics within weeks. The required equipment is minimal. The essential factor is applying mechanical loading that meets the osteogenic threshold specific to postmenopausal bone. Current evidence indicates that gentle, low-impact activity alone is insufficient for structural skeletal health after menopause. Targeted mechanical loading is required to stimulate bone formation. Understanding this distinction allows women over 65 to train in a manner consistent with their physiology and the available scientific data. You are not just aging, you are evolving, and your body deserves to be understood, not dismissed. Here at Prime Women Health, we translate the science so you can make calm, confident decisions about your health. Subscribe and join thousands of women who are choosing strength over fear, clarity over confusion, and power over passive aging. I'll see you in the next video.